will be by Jack Rowe, who's the managing director of the company DRYFIBER, who focuses on fluorine-free coatings. And so, Jack, I'll let you take the stage.
All right, thank you very much.
Yep.
So I will share. All right, so my name is Jack Rowe. I'm the managing director of DRYFIBER. What our main goal is replacing forever chemicals forever. Forever chemicals is a broad term for fluorinated chemistries, otherwise known as PFCs or PFAS or PFAS. And what we've really focused on is the clean future of water repellent textiles. So we've assembled a team that has end-to-end leadership across apparel, manufacturing, textile, sales, and go-to-market. A little bit about myself. I am a serial entrepreneur. I've been an entrepreneur since the early 2000s. I cut my teeth in developing innovation in the oil field and trying to make oil waste cleaner and more efficient. And so that's where I became a self-taught expert in emulsions, suspensions, and foams, which linked up nicely with Dr. Gianellis's expertise. And so with our team, we have Dr. Gianellis's lab, who invented this technology and has been assisting us and is really focused on the innovation side and the basic fundamental science of understanding our product. On the manufacturing side, we completed a joint development agreement and have commercial agreements with AGC. AGC is a global manufacturing company. One of their divisions is chemical manufacturing, where they specialize in high-performance coatings. Their strategic goal and core competency is overwhelming manufacturing capacity. They have manufacturing bases in North America, Europe, UK, Japan, and China. On the textile side, we've brought in and have been working with experts at some of the brands that you know and potentially wear on a daily basis. So Ben ran the fluorinated durable water repellent program at Patagonia, where they went from fluorinated chemistry to non-fluorinated chemistry. So he's been instrumental in helping us understand, from a brand's perspective, what it takes to get a new coating or a new treatment onto product lines and on the shelf and on the hanger in the retail stores and online. Harry Schutz is a former vice president of AATCC, American Association of Textiles Coloring and Chemists. They are the international standard board when textile mills or textile brands or fashion brands look at how do we compare solutions. These are standardized testing methods that we rely on to not just explain our solution, but differentiate ourselves from the competition. Then we have Neil, who comes from Nike and the North Face, which is under the corporate umbrella of VF Corp. This is an essential role that, from a brand's perspective and a product development perspective, as we're looking at the fashions that will be launched in 2027, how do we insert our solution into a variety of programs at very large brands? Then on the business development side, we have, experience from one of the world's leaders in waterproof systems for clothing, Gore-Tex, and how they evaluate different technologies for integration into their systems for their customers, as well as breakthrough brands like 37.5 and other technology, branded ingredients for different textile solutions. And then we also have a go-to-market strategy team where we have experience from DuPont and Invista and other brands like Spyder and Patagonia. So what is the unmet need? Potentially the audience is familiar with the aggressive regulatory environment for forever chemicals. A lot of these regulations have been in place for the last couple of years, with some exemptions that are getting tighter over time, with an ultimate goal of 2035 to have complete ban of PFAS in all products. But for example, this year on January 1st, just a couple of weeks ago, California has banned any product to be sold that has PFAS on it. So you'll start to see in retail outlets that there will not be any fluorinated chemistry on any of the products. This extends, extends to the responsibility to the producers. So there will be fines, there will be economic impact, there will be market impact to these brands, and so they are rapidly looking for PFAS-free solutions. This is demonstrated as a recent lawsuit against 3M, where they were fined $12.5 billion and have determined that they need to exit the fluorinated chemical manufacturing business, which represents a 3.7% global revenue elimination from their bottom line. It's about $2 billion. Also, our commercial partner, AGC, is losing about $500 million a year in the loss of fluorinated chemistry sales. So there is a need to regain, there's an opening of a market space for non-fluorinated chemistry as fluorinated chemistry is eliminated. There's also a big push from consumer sentiment. There's a high consumer awareness about fluorinated products, on everything from frying pans to, baby onesies. So there are consumers that are looking for PFAS-free products and actually are demanding through their pocketbook PFAS-free products. The other unmet need is that the performance of the current offering of fluorinated-free or non-fluorinated chemistry just doesn't have the performance that fluorinated chemistry has. And our product, DRYFIBER, has performance that is closer to the fluorinated products without the environmental damage. So as far as the market size, fluorinated chemistry is everywhere in places you probably wouldn't recognize. But of that global market, the global textile market is about 300,000 tons. And, we're looking at attacking a smaller segment of that of $2.5 billion, which is about 100,000 tons. We're mainly looking at the TULOC categories, which is textiles, upholstery, leather, apparel, and carpeting. So what is our solution? Well, we preserve market access to brands and textile mills by giving them a PFAS-free solution to not just address consumer sentiment, but also the upcoming regulations that will be eliminating this fluorinated chemistry as an option, both on the end products, but also from the manufacturing side. So we're also meeting consumer and brand expectations around forever chemicals. It's not just sufficient to eliminate PFAS, but we need to maintain some of the performance associated with the expectations of consumers. And so DRYFIBER we are at a starting point where we're delivering the performance that consumers are accustomed to and that brands and companies want to deliver. So in the competitive landscape, yes, there are a lot of competitors, but what we've seen through various customer interaction is that we are the only non-fluorinated product that is ready to come to market that demonstrates oil repellency. Now, oil repellency is important not just for stain release, stain resistance, but also longevity of the end products and maintaining water repellency. And so you'll see that the large chemical companies have not developed a solution that's similar to what was invented at Cornell, primarily because these companies don't focus on R&D, and a lot of their R&D departments have been reduced. And this is where Cornell's innovation hub really shines. And so on the right, these are just basic fabric samples where we have water, vegetable oil, mineral oil, and motor oil. DRYFIBER's on the top. The fluid will bead up and be easily wiped off or shaken off, whereas the non-fluorinated DWR competitors, the oil really sets in right away. And then also when that oil sets in, you also lose water repellency, which is a major complaint from a lot of the customers that we talk to. So our business model, we have multiple revenue streams through the extension of product life. So one of our royalty streams is, or one of our revenue streams is through AGC, who we've completed a commercial agreement with. They are focused on non-woven and technical textile markets. So when we think of like medical gowns or medical sheets and textiles, we look at, one example is the non-woven padding inside of combustible car engine hoods. And there's a variety of other technical manufacturing processing textiles that are used. At the factory, we will sell our dry fiber product directly to the textile mills that produce kilometers of finished fabric per minute. So these are the very large textile mills that will sell rolls of fabric to the brands that make the garments. We are also integrating our product into the brand specifications. So a company like North Face or Lululemon will then tell the textile mill, we need dry fiber on this next garment program or across the suite of all our products that need water repellency. And so this is, we're pushing at the factory, and then we're getting the educational and awareness campaigns and testing completed with the brands so that they're pulling from the factory through specifying dry fiber into their products. And then we have an aftermarket concept where, similar to what Patagonia Worn Wear does or Rainy Pass, you can send in a garment that you currently have. Its performance, the water repellency isn't there because of age. And then we can reapply dry fiber as a service model, not only extending the life, but creating a touch point for our product throughout the life cycle of the end-use garment or application. So on a roadmap, we licensed this technology back in 2018 when it was invented. Ryan's been really instrumental in helping us, work through the early existential phases of a technology. So we went from milligrams to kilograms, and this week we'll be running our first 1-ton batch with a goal of getting to 100 tons by the end of the year. But through from 2018 to 2024, we did lose a little bit of time because of COVID and the decreased capacity at the labs, inability to get plastic bottles, supplies of chemistry. So, there was a little bit of lag from that, but we were able to, complete our exclusive license with Cornell. We sponsored research and scaled up the invention, as well as making it more environmentally friendly by moving it from a solvent-based system to water-based system. We were able to complete a joint development agreement and a commercial agreement with AGC. We have our United States TSCA registration, allowing us for commercial sales. We have had 3 patents granted, so India, South Africa, and Mexico. We believe in Q1 this year we'll get our EU patent granted, and we're working with the patent agencies in China, Japan, and the US. And so we work extensively with the Cornell's legal team as well as for patent prosecution. And we have had our first commercial sale 3 weeks ago to a major textile mill in Southeast Asia. And so when we look at our roadmap, what are we going to do this year and for the next 5 years? On the operational side, we're going to continue working on legal documents, legal agreements, license agreement expansions. We continue to work on our patent prosecution, as well as strategies to build up our fortress, our IP fortress, expanding into other products and expanding our current portfolio to include other offensive and defensive strategies. On the regulatory side, the bans and will be leading to the extinction of PFAS on products in the manufacturing. So the way that a lot of these bans are working is there'll be an initial ban with some exemptions, then those exemptions over time will be eliminated. And then as far as registrations, we do need to register with all the major markets, regulatory environments. Each one's unique. United States is done one way, and then UK and the EU and Japan are unique, as well as each of the other countries. Some are harder than others, but we have the expertise and capabilities both with AGC and some of our suppliers on how to navigate that. So we're registered in the US. We have registration in the UK and EU up to volume bands that we're comfortable with for the next 12 to 24 months. And the other countries are a little bit more straightforward or less straightforward, depending on how we navigate it. But we're comfortable that we will be able to register and sell chemistry in all the major markets. Innovation, we want to continue looking at, where this invention is today. And as we gain market intelligence from our customers, from our own internal testing and development, that we continue to expand not just our current line of water and oil repellents, but we have plans for other applications, both on hard surfaces, thinking about frying pans, industrial applications. We've been talking to Michelin about mold release for their tires. So there's a variety of other products that go beyond just textiles that we're familiar with in apparel. So to quantify our volume streams, we're looking at it, 100 tons by the end of the year, and this will be a mix of a blend of the different revenue sources. AGC will be converting some of their existing customers, and we'll be trying to convert some of our customers. We've been in trial phase for the last 2 years with a lot of our customers, and the way the adoption looks like, I'll give an example, is we have a customer in Southeast Asia that has an urgent need. So we were looking at, maybe 100 kilograms by the end of Q2, but once that's qualified by Q3, we'll be at 7 to 12 tons a month, depending on that program. And that's just one product line, and we'll expand from there. So it's a step up adoption from the customers. So, think of it as like 7 kilograms to 70 kilograms to 70 tons to 700 tons. So that's why you see a ramp up over the next 5 years. And, even at 4,000 tons by 2029, that's only 5% market share, which we're very comfortable with in our existing book of business. So there's, if we can execute on our plans, we can potentially, 2x or 3x that forecast. So what are we doing? DRYFIBER's looking at raising $5 million to expand our IP portfolio, expand our technical application capabilities, and execute our sales strategy. Developing intellectual property is not cheap. We want to continue our sponsored research. We have, extended our sponsored research with Cornell for 2025. We would like to expand that. That's more technical resources at Cornell, helping us develop new product lines, new innovations, improving performance, and looking at reducing cost of manufacture. There's a whole slew of innovations that Cornell can help us with, as well as developing our internal application technologies to better serve our customers. And this is kind of building our core scale of how do we accelerate sales? Well, one way is to help our customers solve their problems quicker so that they integrate in our product into their products faster. And so part of the product launch is also getting as many sales agents and business development agents out there. Some of these sales cycles are very long. Patagonia is looking at or is designing their products for the 2027 release. So, anywhere from 3 to 18 months is the sales cycle. So if we can leverage some of these relationships and get those discussions going and the testing plans scheduled, we can see, a quick ramp up from where we are today. We have gathered some investor interest. A lot of these corporate VCs are unable to lead. So one of them is Goldwyn Earthplace Fund out of Japan. Goldwyn is the Japanese licensee for North Face, Helly Hansen, Allbirds, Speedo, and a handful of other brands that we will recognize. And so they're focused on leveraging their venture capital fund to provide greener solutions for their products. Collateral Good out of Zurich, backed by Adidas and Hugo Boss and some other textile mills looking at greener alternatives for apparel. We were a Fashion for Good Batch 7 cohort. They have some funds available, but as a strategic investor, they have access to a wide portfolio of brands that we would like to see as customers. And then Felix Capital out of London has expressed interest as well. They have a stable of direct-to-consumer brands, both on the hardware or kitchenware side, as well as fashion and apparel.
And I'll have you wrap up there, Jack, so we can at least see if we can.
I tried to